The Witcher 4 has received a major boost. The game Misery is being removed from Steam by the creators of STALKER. Insomniac Games is not afraid of Grand Theft Auto 6, and a few other minor news items in today's video. There's quite a lot happening today, so there's plenty to talk about. We definitely have a lot to discuss today, yeah? Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Give this video a boost, because if you do, and there are a lot of boosts, it'll probably perform better in the YouTube algorithm. I won't keep you waiting any longer. Let's get started. At last year's The Game Awards show, 2 games were presented one after another. One was The Witcher 4, which made us go, oh, that looks cool, right? And right after that, Miyazaki barged in with his Nightreign. Back then, we didn't know what it was going to be, and it turned out to be a 3-player roguelike. You know how it works. I don't think I need to explain it to you now. Anyway, Nightreign was quite a nice little game. At launch, it gathered 313 players at the same time. And then, of course, that number started to drop. And now, a few months after release, there are about 30,000 people playing daily on average. That's still a pretty decent result, but, well, it could have been better if From Software had done a better job of keeping the title alive, and it looks like we might be getting a bigger DLC soon, because From Software's parent company revealed that the Elden Ring and Nightreign DLC is set to be released in March 2026, of course. From Software's parent company is Kadokawa, which recently released its financial report and forecasts for the coming years. They said they're aiming to increase sales of Elden Ring and Nightreign, the original Elden Ring, and their DLCs. We have several projects in development. From Software is currently working on an expansion for Elden Ring, planned for release in the fiscal year 2025. And that means still within this fiscal year, which usually runs from April 1st to March 31st of the following year, so the Elden Ring Nightreign DLC will debut no later than March 31st, 2026. Now I'll present to you quite an interesting and not entirely pleasant situation, because there's this game called Misery. It caused quite a stir at the last Steam Next Fest. It's a first-person title with stylized graphics that look like something between the PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 era. There are tons of survival, co-op, and even horror elements in it. You can tell that the creator was inspired a bit by STALKER here, maybe even quite a lot, since it's set in post-apocalyptic Russia. But it's worth noting that in its core concept, this game is not similar to STALKER at all. Only the world around it is quite similar. The game starts with you having 60 seconds to gather the most essential items you can find nearby and get down to the shelter, because after a minute, a nuclear bomb hits. Next, you leave the bunker and scour the wasteland to find something that will help you survive. The locations are procedurally generated, and enemies appear there who can kill us. And there's also a time limit in the form of another bomb, so we have to find what we need and get back to our shelter. 15 days ago, the game peaked at 12,000 players, which is quite a decent result. Unfortunately now, if we go on Steam, we can't find it. I'm on SteamDB, I click here on Store, it should take me to the product page, but Misery doesn't exist. We can also type in Misery here, and unfortunately, nothing comes up. Something like Misery Mansion will pop up. So what's actually going on? Why was the game removed from Steam? Well, that's mainly because of GSC Game World, the creators of STALKER. They issued a DMCA because in their opinion the game resembled STALKER too much. As evidence, they used several screenshots, like guys playing guitar by a campfire or abandoned apartment blocks. You can't deny that the easiest way to describe the game is, well, it's kind of like STALKER. It takes place in a STALKER-like world, right? There are some similarities here, quite a lot of them. But is that enough to call it theft? Enough to call it plagiarism and remove the game from Steam? GSC hasn't commented on this decision, but the 19-year-old creator of Misery has. Yes, the game was created by a 19-year-old. On his Discord, he posted this message. Fucking GSK Gay World sent us a strike from some weird ass shit. Just look at the report from these idiots. We're going to fight to get back on Steam. A little later, the young developer reconsidered and released a more substantive explanation. What I wrote was immature, thoughtless, and inappropriate. It doesn't reflect who I am or what I believe in today. I do not support any form of extremism, violence, or discrimination. As for the DMCA claim, we will approach this calmly and professionally. There is no basis for it, and I believe Valve will assess the situation fairly. That's all for now when it comes to the most important posts and information happening there. But people in the STLKR community are now beginning to carefully investigate and look into who might actually be responsible for the game, and whether the original creators or the current creator of Misery could possibly be connected to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. They're looking into the Discord, they're looking into the moderators of that Discord, and they claim that the creator of this game allows things like the N-word and Z supporter, so he probably belongs to them as well. A strange and unpleasant situation. Obviously, if anything more comes up regarding this matter, I will let you know. Amazon is producing a live-action Mass Effect series, and interestingly, it won't be adapting the trilogy. The writer's room is working really well. We've already figured out how to fit the story into the Mass Effect canon in a way that respects the new game. The series will explore a completely new story within the same universe and will be set after the original trilogy. And we have another piece of news about Mass Effect, but this time about the game. We already know how Dragon's Edge, the Veilguard, has been received. What's been going on with BioWare lately? Some people have been let go, and the team working on the new space opera game is obviously not as big as it used to be. On top of that, Electronic Arts was recently acquired by the Arabs, so it's really unclear what will happen with the game. Will Mass Effect 5 be made? It turns out it's still in development. A new blog post on their website confirms this. But aside from that, there really isn't any other valuable information there, so I'll just tell you, it's being made. The developers are still working on it, and let's move on to the next news item. Recently, there was news that Grand Theft Auto 6 won't be released in May, but instead will come out in November. It's kind of funny, though probably sad for those developers, that they scheduled their game's release specifically to avoid competing with GTA 6. Because if GTA 6 comes out around the same time as your game, even if you're in a completely different genre, you'll still suffer from it, right? Wolverine would suffer from it, Mafia would suffer from it, Megabong would suffer from it, even Cleric or Expedition would suffer if they were released around the same time as GTA. And one of the games I mentioned is Marvel's Wolverine, which was announced some time ago for a fall 2026 release. GTA has also been postponed to fall 2026, so the question arises whether Insomniac Games might want to change their release date to avoid overlapping with GTA. It turns out that no, they won't let themselves be intimidated by Rockstar, and they reminded everyone on their X account that the game is still set to release in fall 2026. This was posted right after the news about the Grand Theft Auto delay and has already gathered 1.5 million views, so it's clearly a comment saying, "We're not afraid." They want to show their claws too. We'll see how that works out for them. CD Projekt Red, or more specifically The Witcher 4, has just received a major boost. News broke that a developer who worked on Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 has joined the team working on The Witcher 4. And not just anyone, this isn't some minor developer, but Carol Coleman, who was the lead of the gameplay design teams on KCD2. He was one of the people responsible for key elements of gameplay and narrative, and I probably don't even need to say that both the first and second Kingdom Come Deliverance are some of the best games ever made. In my opinion, KCD2 should win the Game of the Year title this year. At the game's release in February, I posted a video where I said that KCD2 is the best gaming adventure since Red Dead Redemption 2. And damn, nothing has changed since then. I still think it's the absolute peak, you know? So if you haven't played Kingdom yet, you absolutely have to do it. I'm really excited about this news because it bodes very well for The Witcher. Carol Coleman will take the position of senior quest designer at CD Projekt, so he'll be creating quests for the new Witcher. We can check out Carol Coleman's LinkedIn. Go in here, and here it says what he did in Kingdom Come 2. Among the most important things, he designed and wrote the crime system, meaning how NPCs react to the player's actions in the open world. He made 11 quests, including writing the dialogues and cutscenes. He designed and balanced the stealth mechanics as well as the perception systems of NPCs when we're sneaking, and it has to be said, the stealth and stealth missions in KCD2 were excellent. The NPCs' response systems to our actions were also outstanding. So how can I not be excited about such an acquisition for CD Projekt? I wonder if his contribution will really be noticeable. That's all for today. Subscribe to the channel, take care, and see you tomorrow.